What is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video. You know what day of the week it is. It's Thursday. We got Thursday night football tonight. We are going to be talking game picks. You guys know how the drill works around here. Mott's applesauce. If you're ever hungry, thirsty, whatever it might be, Mott's applesauce will satisfy whatever satisfy you need to satisfy. The Caveman guarantee. I promise it will never fail you. Indulge your Mott's. I promise you will never be happier. Anyway, game picks. Let's get into it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Per usual, I'm going to quickly rewind to the previous week to talk about how I did. I went 9-5 in week 9. Just like week 8 where I had 9 wins, I had 9 wins once again in week 9. It's getting impossible to predict some of these games, man. I mean, any given Sunday, I've been saying it video after video, any given Sunday applies to this season more than I feel like it ever has before. I mean, how am I supposed to sit here and tell you that the Jaguars are going to beat the Bills? Especially as a Bills fan. I mean, come on. Give me a break. Not to mention the Dallas Cowboys went out and got thrown around by the Denver Broncos. Who would have ever thought that was going to happen? The Giants beat the Raiders. I mean, who's predicting this shit? I mean, the Rams lost to the Titans without Derrick Henry. I mean, you just can't write this shit, man. With my record of 9-5 from week 9, that moves my overall record on the season to 95-41. I'd say that's pretty damn good if I do say so myself. I've been cooling off as of late, but hopefully we can turn the heat up once again here in week 10. And we're going to start with Thursday night football, of course, where we have the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. This should be one of the more decisive picks of the week. I think the Baltimore Ravens will 100% come out with the victory here. I mean, I don't even know if Tua's going to play. He didn't play last week. He might play this week. Regardless of who plays a quarterback for the Dolphins, they don't have much of a chance in this game. But, I mean, who's to say how shit's going to go in any of these games just based on how the NFL has been going as of late? Who freaking knows? So, Thursday night football, easy enough. Let's move into the Sunday slate, starting with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. Another game you would think could be very, very easily decided, but that's also what I thought when the Jacksonville Jaguars played last week against my Buffalo Bills, and boy, was I poorly mistaken. Regardless of the outcome between the Jaguars and the Bills last week, I'm still taking the Colts here without question. The Colts are on a roll. They know how to run the ball, unlike the Buffalo Bills. They have an offensive line, unlike the Buffalo Bills. I don't expect this game to be close. The Colts are on a roll. I'm taking them here 10 times out of 10, no question in my mind. Next up, we have a game that could be relatively interesting depending on which Cleveland Browns team shows up as they travel to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. The Patriots, they're dogs this year, man. I hate to admit it as a Bills fan, but they really are. And the Cleveland Browns, they've been very hit or miss. It depends on the week and what kind of Baker Mayfield shows up for their team to play that week is the kind of Cleveland Browns team we're going to get. So who's to say how good the Cleveland Browns are going into week 10 because we don't know what we're going to get from Baker. This will be one of the better games of the weekend, and with Nick Chubb's availability in question as of right now, I mean, who's to say how this game goes? I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns here, who are currently underdogs. I don't know if that's going to last, but as of right now, they are the underdog. I'm taking them here. I just don't think that the Cleveland Browns are going to lose this game. I just don't have that much faith in the Patriots just yet. Next up, we have a game that lingers upset. The stench of upset is really strong in the air when I look at this game as the Dallas Cowboys are at home against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I wouldn't be saying this if that game last week between the Cowboys and the Broncos didn't go the way it did, but it went the way it did. I mean, who would have thought that ever would have happened? The Dallas Cowboys looked pedestrian. They couldn't move the freaking football on offense. I don't know what the hell Dak Prescott was doing. I think that was the worst game of his career. Nevertheless, they're going up against an Atlanta Falcons team who unironically is in a playoff spot right now. So who's to say what kind of Falcons team we get? I mean, Matt Ryan is actually, turning the heat up, and they're not a bad team. They've been relatively competitive as of late. This game, like I said, it reeks of upset. I'm going to take the Cowboys here, but I would not be surprised if the Atlanta Falcons came out with a victory here. I really wouldn't. Next up, we have a game that I would like to think is a no-brainer, a blowout. I would like to think I do not have to put much thought behind my decision here as the Buffalo Bills go to New Jersey, I should say, to take on the New York Jets. I mean, if this game isn't, if this game doesn't cover the spread, I am going to be deeply, I'm already extremely concerned after last week for the Bills, but if this game doesn't simply cover the spread, or hell, if we lose again and we get upset again like we did last week, I mean, I'm hopping ship somewhere else, man. I mean, that would just be beyond inexcusable. Moving on, we have a game that I don't think is going to be as close as the Lions are projecting, as the Tennessee Titans are hosting the New Orleans Saints. The freaking Tennessee Titans went out and took down a Super Bowl favorite Los Angeles Rams team without their MVP, without their best player, without the guy that I thought was keeping their team afloat in Derrick Henry. And they went out there and tossed the Rams around. And it's been the Titans defense doing a lot of the heavy lifting, especially in that game against the Rams. It was an impressive performance and a very, very bad performance by the Rams. I will say that. But nevertheless, it doesn't take away from what the Titans did. So I fully expect them to come out with a victory in this game against a New Orleans Saints team who is depleted. They have no wide receivers. I mean, Alvin Kamara's health is up in the air right now with a knee injury as far as my knowledge goes. Trevor Siemian's their quarterback, who hasn't been brutal, but still. This game will 100% be in favor of the Titans, no doubt in my mind. This next game is probably my lock of the week, as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to Washington to take on the football team. The poor football team has nothing going for them right now. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers did lose to Trevor Siemian and the Saints a couple weeks back, but I just don't see how this game could go in favor of Washington whatsoever. Tampa Bay Buccaneers win this game and probably cover the spread. For this next matchup, we're going to play a quick game. How many penalty flags are thrown on the Detroit Lions to help out the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game? We're going to play a quick game. I'm going to set the line at 7.5 penalty flags thrown on the Detroit Lions. Do you think it'll be over 7.5 penalties on the Lions or under? I want to know down in the comment section below. Either way, jokes aside, Pittsburgh Steelers will 100% beat the Detroit Lions. It seems like the Lions have gotten worse over time, which is kind of hard to imagine. But regardless, Lions don't have much going for them. Najee Harris is probably going to run them out of the building. Pittsburgh Steelers have been on a little bit of a roll lately, I can't lie. So yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers all the way. As for our first 405 matchup for Week 10, we have the Los Angeles Chargers hosting the Minnesota Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings here. I think the Los Angeles Chargers have been playing with fire. It got them burned in Week 8 against the Patriots, and it almost got them burned against the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 9. I don't think they get away from a team like the Minnesota Vikings, who are far more talented than the Philadelphia Eagles, and not to mention, the Minnesota Vikings are in desperate need of a victory, so I'm going to take them here as the underdog. Understandably, there's a lot going on with the Vikings, with like all that Dalvin Cook stuff that just seemingly came out of nowhere. I'm not sure how I feel about all that. I'm not going to get into that. Nevertheless, I think the Vikings need a win. They're going to go out and get it against the Los Angeles Chargers team, who, like I said, have been playing with fire. Moving right along, the Arizona Cardinals host the Carolina Panthers. Apparently, Kyler Murray's status is once again up in the air, but like we saw last week, that doesn't seem to really matter. They played and beat a better 49ers team than a Carolina Panthers team that they'll be facing in Week 10. I have no doubts in my mind that the Arizona Cardinals should come out with a victory in this game. Not to mention, apparently Sam Darnold's going to miss some time now, and they're playing PJ Walker. So this is going to be the battle of the backup quarterbacks, assuming Kyler doesn't play. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the Cardinals here. They're just the better team all around. Only 4 games remain as we have the Seattle Seahawks going to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Both of these teams will be getting their quarterback back this week. We have Russell Wilson returning from IR with a thumb injury, and Aaron Rodgers returning from COVID. Dr. Joe Rogan is clearing his patient to play. I had that joke dialed up, so I hope you enjoyed it. But either way, I'm taking Green Bay. I don't know. It's going to be a very, 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 very good game. 2 NFC top threats going at it. But I'm going to say, I don't know. Just something about Green Bay. I think they're going to come out with the victory here. I think the run game is better. I don't know. I really don't have a solid reasoning for it, other than I just have a feeling Green Bay's going to win at home. 3 games to go. Denver hosts Philadelphia. This game's a toss-up in my eyes. I really don't know who I can pick with certainty here. I'm going to take the Denver Broncos because they did just put a whooping on the Dallas Cowboys, and they're also at home, so I'm going to take Denver here. But, the Eagles really fought their ass off against the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Eagles have found themselves fighting in a lot of games this year, so I really wouldn't hold it against them to come out with a victory in this one. But for the sake of my picks, I'm taking the Broncos. Sunday Night Football is going to be a damn good game, a divisional matchup, a very big divisional matchup at that, as the Kansas City Chiefs go to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. The Raiders are known to be the kryptonite of the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's exactly why I'm taking the Chiefs in this game. Just because I feel like a lot of people are expecting the Raiders to upset the Chiefs in this game, and I just feel like the Chiefs have it figured out now, at least the book against the Raiders. They're not going to let this, continuous upset against the Raiders happen, so I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs here in a game that I really think they truly need to win if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. I will say I would not be shocked to any capacity if the Las Vegas Raiders won this game at home. I think they're the better team at this point in time, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know. Something about Patrick Mahomes, something about that team with the Chiefs. I just don't think they're going to lose this game. It's just kind of like that aroma in the air, if you know what I mean. Last but not least, we have the Los Angeles Rams going to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. A nice divisional game on Monday night. It'll be a good one. I don't expect it to be a blowout, but I 100% expect the Rams to come out with a victory here. If we put it in reverse for a second and look at the bigger picture, could Kyle Shanahan be on the hot seat? If they lose this game, they will fall to 3-6. In a season where a lot of people had some pretty high expectations for him, nobody thought they'd be 3-6 going into week 11. That would be pretty damn brutal. Could Kyle Shanahan be seeing his way out of San Francisco after this year? That's a question we really can't answer at this point in time, but when I saw some, hot seat Kyle Shanahan talks, I was like, ooh, that's very, very interesting. So I guess we'll see how that pans out. Nevertheless, taking the Rams in this game. Those are my picks for week number 10. Let me know what you think of them down in the comment section below. Hopefully I can do a little bit better than I have the last 2 weeks, because football is it's been impossible this year. It's been impossible to bet on. It's been impossible to predict. You can't get any takes right. It's just a garbage shoot at the end of the day, but that's what makes it fun, right? As always, if you have any thoughts, leave them down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. If you want to hit the bell to be notified when I upload, I'd appreciate that. If you go over to Twitter, follow me over there. I'd appreciate that as well. I'm part of the Built-in Buffalo Content Creation team. If you enjoy Buffalo Bills content, be sure to follow and subscribe to us on any social media you might have. Mods, I love ya. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.